Good evening and welcome everyone back to another episode of the Love Speak podcast where our goal is to get love right. And tonight, we're going to be trying to get love right with tonight's topic, love bombing. So get ready to put your comments and let your love speak with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and always with the baddest of the baddies, Billy Badass Joe.
Hey,
How,
girl.
how you feeling this evening? My bad. I got a little choked up coming in on that. Need to drink some water. I've been having a good time this evening. So
Good. I like to hear that. I'm doing
you
pretty
know,
good. I've been busy and productive, but definitely excited about tonight's conversation. How about yourself? I heard you've been feeling good. You're looking good.
thank you. I try to, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit keep it together. I try to keep it together a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, tonight this conversation is gonna be crazy. We talking about love toxicity, love abuse, toxic relationships, and y'all go ahead and make sure y'all smash that like button for us. And we're going to bring these questions up for tonight. So on the Love Speak Q&A tonight, we have 5 questions. Our first one, what is love bombing or love abuse? 2, what do red flags or signs of love bombing look like? 3, what are some reasons that people love bomb? 4, is love bombing limited to romantic relationships, or can platonic and family relationships experience the same? And our fifth and final, last but never least question, can love bombing ever be unintentional? And as always, we want y'all to tell us what you think in the live chat and let your love speak in the comment section. That's what I was trying to get out earlier, y'all. So, so definitely we want y'all to do that and engage in the conversation with us. I'm gonna drop the link in there if y'all want to pop up. So remember, just try to keep it short if that's what y'all doing. So we're gonna go ahead with Billy Badass Joe getting into this first question. What is love bombing or love abuse?
Okay, so before I go into my personal thoughts or feelings, can we pull up for the viewers the definition, the Webster definition? And are we able to do that with?
Let's do this. We're gonna pull up. We're gonna pull up the AI version.
Okay, I like that. I was actually getting ready to ask the question. I was gonna be like,
Let's see. So we got love bombing is a manipulative tactic where someone showers a new partner with excessive affection, gifts, and attention to create a strong sense of attachment and dependency. The goal is to gain control and isolate the partner, making them more vulnerable to mistreatment later on. This behavior is used to build control, and it often involves excessive compliments, constant communication, and grand or frequent gifts, with the underlying intention to make the recipient feel like they have found that one and they will stay in the relationship no matter what. We got some other things right here with it. What love bombing looks like, excessive flattery and compliments.
hold on, that's for question two. We'll save that for two.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here we go. Right there. So that's what we got right there for the definition of it. So what do you get out of that when we ask the question?
Okay, so and the reason why I wanted clarity before I answered the question is because the gesture of love bombing itself, or the things that make up the independent components that make up the term love bombing, I don't necessarily think that they are bad things to experience or to entertain your partner with. However, the main part in my notes and in the description is the intent behind it. So,
Hmm.
the manipulative intention, or with the main end all be all intention of gaining control to be able to, manipulate the situation. So when you word it like that, I would say that what is love bombing or abuse? It's when your partner skillfully makes you feel important, or as the term said, like you're the one. I think it's something that a lot of the newer generation do within their relationships in the beginning, the facade of it all, or just the disingenuine, is that a word, disingenuine, um ness of,
Ness. Yeah.
yeah, say disingenuousness of people's, intentions, or like today's world is based off of survival, in my opinion, and instead of thriving per se. So I definitely
Ooh.
think, yeah, I definitely think that it looks familiar to people and they don't even know that that's what's going on.
Right.
What about yourself? What do you say love bombing, or, oh, I'm sorry. The second part of it before I hand it off to you is love abuse. Okay. I
Right.
have more distinct example of love abuse versus the definition of love bombing. Love abuse can happen in a whole bunch of relationships. And example, a family encounter of love abuse could be having a family, whether it be a parent or a sibling, that knows how they are genuinely loved within their family, and for that fact alone does not probably apply themselves to the best of their ability to be the better version of themselves, because they're abusing the love that they know they're going to receive, regardless of the work they put out to make themselves better for them and for the people they depend upon around them.
Okay. Okay.
Taken advantage of, or just knowing, like, regardless of what I do or how I do, there's certain dynamics in every family where that could probably be pointed out. It could be, a mother taking care of a child that has an addiction, and the parent is always going to be there for the child, and the child knows that. So kicking the habit ain't top priority because they always got somewhere to be or somewhere to go. It could be uh a parent, it could be a sibling relationship where maybe the sibling is taking advantage of the nature or the perks of their sibling, and knows that regardless of how they're treated, they're always going to be able to turn around and have a sibling there, or it's just so many different, maybe so many things, maybe a husband and wife, she takes advantage of maybe the supportive nature he always has, and so there is definitely abuse within love, or such thing as love abuse. Now, I'm sorry, off to you.
No, no, no. That's cool. That's cool. So we got so many things you touched on with the love abuse and love bombing. Um, well, based on I really didn't have knowledge um of the love abuse or love bombing to even put them two together until you introduced this topic for tonight. And then I went and did some research, like, okay, what does that look like? What how can we shape that into a conversation, you know, and love bombing was what I built off of, with that seed that you planted. Because it seemed like that the love bombing leads to the love abuse. It's it's only when we take it away from a romantic relationship that we're able to separate it, but then we say, okay, well, does it have to be separated? Even in a platonic friendship or family, that's one of our other questions that we're gonna get to. But now understanding it after reading the definition, um, it seemed like toxic behavior. That's what, it seemed like that's the thing that's like really toxic. Um, some people say certain things are toxic, and I think they just because that is a cop out. Like some people may not be used to certain behaviors, so they say, "Oh, that's toxic," or "Oh, this is toxic." But when you're talking about somebody, like you said, the intent being manipulative, um, and specifically it says showering a new person. When I look at like how do you like in the beginning of relationships, it's always different than it is 5 years into it or
Hmm.
10 years into it.
I agree.
You know, you still have some of the same things that you do. Like if you a gift giver, you giving gifts. If you are
Hmm.
um, a hug person, an affectionate person, you still being affectionate.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like those are things that I can't that I'm just like how does that turn into manipulative? Because the goal of the person coming in is always trying to get to if it's a guy and a girl, like the guy's coming in doing these things trying to get to the cookie, you
Hmm.
know
Hmm.
so it's like then once he get the cookie, then does he hold these things for ransom now? Like, okay, well,
For ransom.
I got the cookie, so now I'm gonna need cookie if you still want gift,
Exactly.
you know. And
Well,
now that's like, is that a version of the love? Could that be love bombing? Because it was like, okay, you was doing the giving and giving and giving and giving and showering and all that stuff first, but then now once you got the cookie, now it's like, okay, cookie for gift.
I mean,
Is
that's
that like now they take the
yeah, well, that gets into like a question later on, like what are some reasons that people love bomb? Like that's question number three, essentially. And you're correct. And that is a motive for it. But I definitely think that love abuse can happen without love bombing. And but I don't know if love bombing can happen without love abuse. But I definitely think that love abuse can happen without love bombing.
okay, okay. I mean, I when we answering the question, y'all, right now, if y'all just pulling up, make sure to smash that like button. Um, what is love bombing or love abuse? You know, and we looked up the definition of love bombing. Um, and matter of fact, let's look up the definition of love abuse too. Why not? Let's go ahead and look up love abuse. Yeah, let's go ahead and look that up too. You know, so when we pull up love abuse, all right. See if we can add this to the stage right here. So when we pull up love abuse, they say that love abuse is not a standard term, but it often refers to love bombing, a form of emotional abuse where the abuser showers a new partner with excessive affection, attention to create a sense of urgency and dependency, which is then used to gain control. This can involve constant compliments, extravagant gifts, quickly pushing for serious commitment, and is followed by manipulating and control as the relationship progresses. Love bomb is a tactic used to establish a foundation for future emotional, psychological, or physical abuse. You know, so
So
they
are
not.
we so at this point it seems like it's word syntax not that we're basing off of, because abuse of love, is that the same as love abuse? Abuse of love, is that the same as love abuse? Because I think
Okay.
that AI is wrapping up the definition of love bomb and love abuse together. That's how I say you can do love abuse without love bombing, but you can't do love bombing without love abuse, because one form of love abuse is love bombing, but that's not the only way to abuse love.
Okay. So right here we got abuse of love. Most
See,
commonly refers
again,
to love
love
bombing.
bombing. Like the internet is doing this.
I'm just saying, like this what people. I'm just saying though, Billy Badass Joe, like this what people get their information from.
You are
You
right, but that's
you
why we
know,
having this conversation, because
because if we distinguishing the two, see like in totality, I don't think that you can abuse love, because I think if you loving somebody, then you can't abuse your love. You know, I think that it's impossible if you're using love right, because love should not be abusive.
it should
So
not be abusive. But if
you
you
know,
are loving with intentions
because I'm
to
like
love,
even this manipulative thing of love bombing, right?
uh,
The person looks like they looks so friendly, so kind, so
right,
generous, so you know, so and
right,
those things, the person is sucked into that
uh,
because of the generosity of the
right.
appeared sincerity
All
of
of
the
the things that
appeared
align with
kindness,
will
you
align with
know,
what your love is, right?
so it seems warm, it seems compassionate, it seems concerned, it seems considerate, but it isn't until later on down the road that you find out, when this person is now holding these things for ransom, that that now they're being abusive and trying to be controlling, because they're now saying, you know what, okay, well, if you still want me to do this stuff, then I need you to do this.
Yeah,
Oh, you can't do this, or oh, you can't do that if you want me to do this,
right.
you know
Uh-huh.
so that's where I'm looking at, like, that's where I get where it's saying an abusive love is love bombing. Uh, a love abuse is love bombing.
Uh-huh.
That is the term that is being coined as in today's culture, in
Right.
today's you know
Society,
social
yeah. Uh-huh.
society, social settings. So
Uh-huh.
that's where I'm saying, like, I get where you saying, where you're putting it in a different context. We're
Right.
saying, okay, abuse, a person can abuse their love. My contrast was just like, I don't think you can abuse love. If it's being used correctly, like, you can't abuse it.
You're what's the word I'm looking for? You're doing exactly why the statement is correct, because you can abuse love. If you don't, I'm just going to repeat it, but putting the few words in front of it, if you don't use it correctly. There's a lot of people who aren't using it correctly. They're using it intentionally. So, yes, it can still be abused.
Yeah, they using it manipulatively. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, again, falls into some of the definition of love bombing. But again, there's a part of certain dynamics of relationships where love bombing is not even one of the aspects of it, but they're still being abused by their partner the loving way, because their partner is taking advantage of the simple mere fact that I know this motherfucker love me, and they not gonna leave me or put me high and dry or leave me out to drown. You get what I'm saying? So
But they're gonna treat you like shit though.
Yeah, that is the part, the abuse. That's the part I'm talking about. You're the one getting abused. The one that is doing the loving is the one
Yeah.
getting
How the
abused.
fuck they love you treating you like shit though? How does that work?
No, 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 no. That is true because people
How
that
does
love
that
you
work?
will still treat you like shit. That is true.
But I
Because
don't think they love you though. I told you that before. I don't think family love you. They treat you like shit. I don't think nobody who's willing to treat you like shit loves you. I don't think they love you. I don't think it's genuine at all.
I think that some people unfortunately don't ever, maybe they don't ever, or maybe it takes them later to learn the concept of all of the elements that love entails. I think that the words or the verbiage coming out of their mouths probably, you know, is something that maybe just might be repetitious because that's just what was passed on in their household. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But whether it's said out loud or not, I think that people, humans struggle to properly love themselves and others. So I think that we may sell ourselves short sometimes by saying or feeling like a motherfucker don't properly love us, then I mean they don't love us. I think that a lot of cases that is true, especially in people who are experienced and people who we know been through some shit and had been around the block, yeah, we give them less leeway. But for family members who are, maybe unexperienced or newer or,
You talking about
things of that.
children? You talking about
No,
children?
because it's still grown people that they might be grown, but they not gonna get it till they 50, 60 or never, you know?
Yeah, but that's to me is they choosing not to get it. And I believe those people at that age, I believe if you when you get 30, okay, when you get around 30, I would say about 25, you know when you doing something on purpose, when you being petty, when you are being intentional, these things. At 25, by that you've experienced enough in your life to know when you want to do something, you're going to do it.
Mm,
Okay?
mm,
So, I think it is safe to say to agree with partially that yes, there are people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s who don't have it, who don't understand it. Yeah. But I think all of them know what they doing. I think all of them are purposefully doing what they doing. It ain't like they just, oh, it's something I need to learn. Nah. If somebody is doing something intentionally, they know what they doing
mm,
for a fact. And
mm,
people that age don't do, like, you mean to tell me you can get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, wash your hind parts, go put on your clothes, go run your errands, do all that stuff that you need to do,
mm,
and you telling me that if somebody say good morning to you and you just frown at them, or you just act like you don't hear him, you telling me that you didn't do that on purpose? That's done on purpose. That's if you ain't want to talk to that person,
mm,
you know.
mm,
But it would have hurt you to just say, "Hey, good morning, thank you, have a good day,"
mm,
and keep it pushing.
mm.
So I'm like, even that is like, is that love abuse? Somebody being
Yeah,
cordial to you,
I was
and
about
they
to
don't
say,
have to, be, but and they don't have to be somebody that you even know. That don't even have to. That's platonic, right? That's not even somebody that you even know.
right.
But we could consider that based on what you were saying, the model of like the love abuse thing.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like what is love abuse? I think that would be a decent enough example where
That,
it's like somebody showing you some love, being cordial.
yeah,
You can't show them no love back.
right.
But I think that people know that they doing that. I don't think that people have something to learn. I think that they're purposely just carrying some evil around. That,
What?
like you said earlier, they don't like some shit about theyself,
Yep.
and because they don't like something about theyself, then they don't have no problem with trying to take that out on other people.
Yeah. And that's my point. And that's where the abuse part come in. You have to know what you have to be aware of it. I'm not saying you have to know that just because you're aware of it and you have to know it don't mean that you have to be able to solve it, because that's a whole nother beast to tackle. But in order to be, or in order to have the or do the abuse of love, you have to be aware of what you're doing anyways, because that's the abusive part. Unintentionally or unknowledgingly or unknowingly is, is different. That don't fit into abusive love. That's like oblivious type of character instead of like, abusive type of character. So, I think that now you do feel me where I'm coming from, as far as like a term of abusive love or love abuse, to me definitely is separate from love bombing. But again, love bombing includes the love abuse. I just think that toxic behavior is a big umbrella. And then you have all of these sectors of what toxic behavior is. Toxic behavior, one of them is love bombing. That's under the umbrella. Another toxic behavior is drinking 7 days a week and getting shit faced. You know what I'm saying? Like there's 1,000,010 different toxic behaviors. So
But
love
see,
bombing is
but
one,
see,
and
but that's what.
abusing
Yeah, I get that. Go ahead.
no, but love bombing is one, and abusive love is another underneath of the umbrella. They're just like close raindrops together, but I do feel like they're separate ones.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm talking about. Where um, see, we be giving stuff too many meanings, and this is where it be confusing people because then everybody had their own little definitions of shit, where it's like can't agree on one accord to like solve a problem when you get in
Right.
situations, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that's the one reason why I was just like, yes, I found a way to make the point
Yeah, you
work,
did. Yeah.
to tie it together.
Mm-hmm.
However, abusive love or love abuse, when people look it up, is love bombing, and this is all they give into it. It's even like what you was just talking about with like a toxic behavior. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you named a bunch of behaviors that could be considered toxic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But that does not mean that they're toxic behaviors. If the toxic behavior refers to actions that consistently harm or undermine others, leading to emotional distress, stress, confusion, or anxiety. All right. While it's not a clinical term, it's used to describe harmful patterns like manipulation, control, constant criticism, and lack of empathy. The word toxic means poisonous, harmful, or such behaviors can damage a person's mental health and self esteem. So when they give you this, they giving it to you like lack of accountability, disregard for boundaries, self-centeredness, emotional distress, unpredictability, gaslighting, manipulating and control. You know, um, and something like that you put like alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
We could say alcoholism is a toxic behavior, like you said, somebody getting drunk all day, but it's not a toxic behavior. It's alcoholism. So in order to diagnose it and treat it correctly, you gotta call it alcoholism to find out what's going on with it to be able to get to the root of it. Not just like we do that. I ain't saying you
Ah,
wrong. I'm saying that we do that and to call something like, oh yeah, that's some toxic behavior. Like you
n-
toxic as shit. All you do is get drunk all day. But
no, I
but they get put in a toxic box. They don't get put in an
no,
alcoholic
that's
box.
not what I'm doing. I'm not saying a person, oh my back itch. I'm not saying a person that has a disease or illness or whatever is a toxic behavior. What I'm saying is there are people who go out and decide or choose to drink every night, and it's not because they're alcoholics. It's because while they're out, this is what they want to do. I could use me for an example. There has been periods in my life before I wanted to lock down and get serious that when I decided that I wanted to go out in the nightlife, I could have stopped at no drinks or one or two drinks. I was getting drunk damn near every time I went out. And it's not because I was an alcoholic, because when the days came and the mornings came, I wasn't craving alcohol. When the day was coming throughout the daytime, I wasn't needing something to knock the edge off. It was just when nighttime came and I went out, I would make a personal decision at this point in my life that every time I was getting drunk. Now, there have been plenty of times before that when I was going out and I used to make a decision not to have a drink at all. So I'm not talking about the people with the illnesses. I'm talking about the people that's making decisions, momentarily, that they can control. It's not an impulsive thing. It's not a illness that's attached to it if it don't happen. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with
No,
you.
no, I don't get what you're saying because you was sounding like an alcoholic when you was talking about I get drunk every night. Like I was a sailor, so I know what an alcoholic is. Now I couldn't drink at work, right? Like you
Right,
can't be at work drunk,
right,
you
right,
know? Like you
right,
cannot be. It's too much responsibility you have. But if every day I got off work during the evening to wind down and chill and relax, and I
right.
could have just had one or two, but I
Correct.
chose to have a whole half a gallon, a handle, or goddamn a football, a Sunday pack,
Right.
before 3:45 in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I still was an alcoholic because when I got off work, that's what I was focusing on doing.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
whether I was watching the game or whether
Uh-huh.
whether I had something planned where I was gonna hang out with the guys and we was gonna go get wings at B Dubs, or we was gonna go to a sports bar, or whether we was going over to somebody's house, somebody coming to my house, and we still was getting shit faced it, but we got up and we went to work the next day. So it became habit, but we still was alcoholics. Everybody was an alcoholic,
Well, let me say
you
this.
know.
Maybe I shouldn't have said alcoholic. I use the term freely. I should have said party girl or something like that. That's what I should have said.
Nah, it don't
That's what
matter
I should
because
have
you
said.
just justified it. You just moving the goalposts. Like
Nah, yeah,
it's
because
okay.
I do, because with the word alcoholic, there is a disease or a illness attached to it. So I don't want to undermine that. And you are correct. But when we
Most
speaking
people,
of toxic
most
behavior, I don't want to put people who are in the unfortunate circumstances of battling a disease or illness, as toxic. Like, nah, that's not fair. I agree with that. But what I am saying is that for the people who, choose the recreational party, X, Y, and Z, that is a behavior that could fall under the umbrella. Not, I didn't want to put the medically term of alcoholic,
yeah,
into it, spotlighted on that, more so just the
yeah.
party goer.
I mean, but
Sorry
we
about that.
got
Yeah.
we got people that we know that's alcoholics that don't think they alcoholics.
Right. They're functional
You
or,
know,
yeah.
but they don't think they are. They would never think they are. They just think they like to drink and have a good time. You
Right.
know.
I agree. I
But
agree
when
with
you
that.
look at more your hours, it's the thing when you don't have a function.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people with the real illness because they don't have any balance to it. They don't
Mm-hmm.
have a function. But I caught myself even when I retired because it's just like, okay, well, you don't get off work and go drink anymore like this. And I've heard from other veterans as well that they was like, man, I had to slow down because I was like, I had to quit drinking because we
Yeah.
get off work so much and we used to it becomes the routine where you don't even know it, and now you at home with so much time and you just shit faced it. You
Yeah.
wake up, do some errands, get the kids gone, and now you just by the time they come home, like you on your
Yeah.
third bottle or some shit.
Yeah. And you done built up your tolerance. I was about to say that. You done built up your
Yeah,
tolerance and all that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you 110% on that. All right.
so I definitely understand that. But let's go ahead and get into this second question. What do red flags or signs of love bombing look like?
Mm, 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 mm. Well, I know from personal experience because I've been love bombed on more than one occasion throughout my years of
Have you lovely? Have you
right,
lovely?
exactly, being in the dating pool. Um, I mean, for myself, I think that I've encountered the experience I've encountered is like meeting a man, and the man may become familiar with maybe my plans or my goals or my aspirations, or just see the way I move, my drive. And at some point, he doesn't feel like playing it cool, would get him to the finish line. So I end up, experiencing the love bombing, oh, you're so great, but they don't want you to be too great, but they want you to, feel great, just not greater than them. And in between that comes, the flowers, or the, you know talk of the plans that they have, or the insinuations and things of that nature. And as it goes on, it's like not secret competition, but it is definitely a motive, in my opinion, where you can see where this is like a aim or a goal or something that they've like strategically thought out or set out. So that has been my experience a few times, maybe twice, in the dating pool. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like compliments. It looks like the interest of wanting to spend time. It looks like sorry about that. Waking up with the flowers at your door, unrequested or unannounced. Not actually them in physical presence, but the gift. Little stuff, thinking about you, gifts that really you could live without, but for some reason, or maybe even you get the person. Here's another love bombing experience. Now, on the definition, I believe it says something about a new person or something to that sort. But I feel like I've been in a relationship before where I've been love bombs, especially after like an occasion of infidelity took place or something of that sort.
Okay.
Can you
Damn.
hear
Even.
me?
Yeah, I got you. You good?
Uh-oh.
You good? You good? We got you.
Hold on. I can't
You
hear
good?
you.
You good?
I can't hear you. Turn your mic
Okay.
off, then turn it back on really quick.
My mic off.
Sorry, it's off. Now turn it back on. Oh, the incoming call. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So, what question we got going on right now, y'all? Let me go back up to this board right here. So we got what red flags or signs of love bombing? What do red flags or signs of love bombing look like? So, we got excessive flattery, compliments, constant communication, intense and frequent gifts, wanting to spend all your time together. Um, so let me think. Have I been love bombed before? I think I did. I was dating this crazy girl, and I ain't gonna say her name, but but it was definitely we got Billy Badass Joe back in here. But I was just telling this story. I was dating this crazy girl, and she was real nice in the beginning. Real nice in the beginning. Um, like had me fooled for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But then I understood later, like as we got into the relationship, and she started telling me certain things like, uh, if I would just do this, and if I would just do that, and if I would just do this, and if I would just do that, and I was just like, that's not really shit that I do. So You know, that's not, that's,
She baited you in. She thought
yeah,
she was gonna create you to be this man to keep receiving that woman that she was love bombing you with. You were like,
yeah,
oh, I'm gonna do this for her because I she did this for me, treat me so good. This the one.
you know, and and then when that started happening, like, I really wasn't cool with that. Like, why don't you this and why don't you that? And it's like, hold up, like my mother did not nag me this much.
Right.
Like my mother
Hmm.
actually didn't chastise me this much. My mother was like, he gonna figure it out. Let him, do what you need to do, son. And
Exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
so I'm like, this shit is way out of control, and I'm not used to this. you know. And she was a fight, she liked to fight boys. So like that shit wasn't cute to me at all.
Hell no.
Yeah, like you trying to fight boys. Like I ain't raised my sister to fight no man, you
Right.
know. Um, so like I really think that I was love bombed in the beginning when I look back at it, because I looked at how just
So what was she doing? Like what was like what did it look like? What
she'd take me to Polo, you know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying, and give me drippy, you
Uh-huh.
know. Shit, we'd go out, and I had that's when I had the Range Rover, so you know most of the time she'd be like, nah, I pay for it, I pay for dinner, just come get me.
Right.
I might go to the house, she'd be cooking for me, and then it'd be a
Uh-huh.
nice evening.
Uh-huh.
So it was little things like that, and then I remember I was stationed in Norfolk at the time, but I had met her up in Northern Virginia,
Uh-huh.
and then like she moved down there and everything like that, and it was quick too. It was like I was like, hold up, like I'm just in a little spot, you know. And she was
Oh
like,
wow.
nah, I want to be with you. I want to be close by you, and blah blah blah. So she moved, you know. So she was doing the fucking most, and I was enjoying it for a minute. I was like, damn, okay, I see you, you.
So when did you determine that it was love bombing instead of just like a female being the girlfriend in the relationship? Because buying things for your man, paying for dinner sometimes, or like, wanting to be close to him. Naturally, these sound like characteristics that a man would want inside of a woman that, he was partner with. But when did you realize like this is more so like the term of love bombing, and how long did it take for it to be recognized?
Oh shit. Okay, so how long did it take for it to be recognized? I don't want to start lying. Um, maybe about 6 months, six or
Okay.
7 months,
She was love
because
bombing me for a long time.
because we lived in a place, and the place got shot up. They was the little dude that lived next door to me. I was trying to save money, so I was living somewhere that I could afford way more, you know, and
Yeah.
um, and because I was just getting up going to work in the morning, like I ain't really care. I wasn't there a lot. We was just there in the evenings and be getting up going to work. So, and I was cool with them with all the little jits and everything around them. So wasn't no thing I ain't never had. They was always trying to get the Range Rover. Like, let me hold the Range Rover. Um, but they shot at him and his mother. They shot at him and his mama. So um I moved up out of there as soon as like the next day I went to the rent office. Was like, man, I'm breaking the fucking lease. Y'all got people getting shot up. They shooting at people mama around here and everything, bro. Like,
Ah,
I'm like, I'm just here trying to save money. So we
right.
moved to another place.
Hmm.
And when we moved to another place, that's where shit got
Sure.
shit got
Right.
tricky. Shit got real tricky then, because
Yeah.
uh because that's when she started telling me I should be doing this and I should be doing all that and I should be doing this and doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
if I wanted this and if I wanted that. And I was like, oh hell nah. Like, damn,
Yeah.
we ain't doing all that.
No, I feel
And
you.
that's when I found out. And then I had moved. I had actually moved back on the boat. I had moved back on the boat. I had moved out of there because I had got orders and I was gonna leave and go. And I had left. I had stopped dealing with her. And then she called me and begged me to take her back. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was stupid on me. I already knew the shit was over because I had already left. I know why. I know why I took her back. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah.
little head, not thinking with my big head,
Right.
little head,
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
with my little head. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
was young and
And
you
and
know.
then and then she figured that once she figured that move right there, that's where I was stupid. At. That's why I learned my lesson. Like, when you gone, be gone.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
yeah.
because
When you
she
gone, be gone.
interpreted that as oh, I got him.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got him. So now she could just run whatever. And then when we went to my next duty station, like 3 months into that, I was just like, damn, why the fuck I signed this lease with you?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like
So
I'm talking about like less than 90 days into it. It was like, why the fuck I had already left. I was
right.
sitting in the car one day like, I already left. Why you make me go back?
Yeah,
Why you
yeah,
make me
a
go back?
consequence of your thought,
Ah.
yeah, of your thinking. So, with that being said, what do you think for question three are some of the reasons that people love bomb? Why do you think that in that relationship or maybe in other relationships that people decide to choose to love bomb? Like, what do you think that the goal is?
um, I don't know, Billy Badass Joe. I don't know. I don't know why people be doing that um because like with me, I like if you're gonna be genuine, be genuine. You know,
Mm,
like like I have dated young ladies too where they like, like I'm rude. Like
mhm.
I'll cuss you out. I will do this, I will do that. But it's like at the gate. It's at the gate. It's just like, is this an act or is you really like turn
Uh-huh.
up?
Uh-huh.
Because you giving some kind of turn up vibe, but I don't know, like I'm not trying to judge you. I'm trying to give you an opportunity, but let me know if you ratchet and shit, like because I
Yeah,
don't fuck with that.
right.
Like they ain't my, I'm not cool with that. Like I don't fight girls and I don't want to be yelling at you, you know, you calling me niggas and me calling having you call you bitches. My I'm not gonna get erect.
That's not your love language, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
like I'm not gonna be no attraction, you
So what
know.
are yeah. So what are the
So
reasons that you think that they, like them type of women, them type of individuals, they do you think that they love bomb? Are they love bombing to cover up like who they really are gonna become in a relationship? Or do you think that like because that's
I don't know. I mean, dudes tolerate a lot of stuff, but I see people that tolerate it, on both sides, where it's just like, um, I've heard even a young lady that I had dated for a little short little time, she was like, I'd rather a man give me gifts and stuff like that than I don't need all this love and all this other stuff. I take the gifts and everything. He could have many other women as he want to have. Just give me what I need and blah blah blah, and I'm fine with that. So I'm like, okay, you know.
that
So what do you want out of the relationship other
right.
than that? Is that all you need? Okay, well, to me, I can't be but in a relationship with you because that's not, like I'm not just gonna be gifts and
Right.
things.
Right.
I'm not gonna be that,
Right.
like, and I need more than that. I need more than somebody that I just
Right.
give gifts and things to.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
more of the soul. She's more of the surface type of that's what that's
Yeah,
getting at.
you know,
But
like I need to have some. I need to have a friend, you know.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So not just I don't know, a contributor.
I was about to say that because it's not even a partnership or a companionship that she has at
Yeah,
that time. But it's somebody like for her, I don't even know if that's love bombing then because it's not even manipulative. It's what she prefers. You know what I'm saying? It's her
yeah.
adjustment through life. So for me, I think that some reasons that people love bomb are because they know where their ultimate end all be all goal is. And I think that if they came with their natural representative or the natural selves, not their representative, then maybe whoever they genuinely are wouldn't be able to penetrate the surface or get deep enough at the actual target, the individual that they're going for. So they try to come in with the
Mm.
smoking cloudy screen,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to represent themselves as somebody that's this or that, or and that way it can manipulate and change your perception of who you're going to receive. So I feel like that's the reason why they love bomb. But in my experiences that I even spoke about earlier, the love bombing that I have encountered, I've been able to see the red flags almost immediately. For one, it kind of feels uncomfortably naturally when it happens to me because it's almost like, how did we get here in this space? And I know I don't reciprocate this energy of how you feel. Like that feels weird to me. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's either one of two things. It's either A, you just naturally feeling me more than I'm feeling you, and we just off wave, or B, you love bombing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
Okay.
we're gonna get to the bottom of it real quick because if you naturally are interested in me and it's just you are like low key pressed, you're gonna do things.
Low key press.
Yeah, you're gonna do things that like really do attribute to like my personality, my hobbies, my interests, things of that nature, more specific geared, not like a love bomber who generally ain't really geared into like who you are as a person. It's more so like what women like to receive as a shallow end that looks good, it feels good. That's
Like, let me get you this bag. Let me get you these flowers.
yeah, exactly.
Let me
Not
take
like
you on this trip. Let me do this stuff. Let
exactly.
me fly you. You know.
Not like, oh, you go to yoga 3 times a week and you go to the gym twice a week. Like, let me go to a gym session or let me go to the gym or hell, let me even sign up for yoga. It ain't something I want to do. I don't want to be in a room full of, what I'm saying, sweaty ass women, but this is what my girl like to do. So, or my woman, whatever the case is,
Okay.
you hit it on the head. They more so superficial, artificial.
I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. So it seems like that with love bombing that it's more of in today's society, modern society, it seems like guys do more of the love bombing than the ladies participate in. You
I
know,
don't. I would like to say yeah, general that like that sounds like a natural response, but I can't even stand sex. I've been guilty in my dating world of love bombing too. I mean,
is it like I'm a trap them? Is that like
nah, because I don't want to trap them. I want you to be free, but I want to experience what I want to experience from you at that time. So if
okay? But I'm saying
yeah,
could I'm a trap him be love bombing where like you where like a young lady is just like
I
trying to
guess if
be
that's
this,
her
you
intention,
know, this
yeah,
whole she trying, she cooking,
yep,
she cleaning, she
yep,
doing all this, and
yep,
he, and then boom, now she have a child, and
yeah.
now the wicked
West Witch comes out. Yeah.
comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like damn, where the fuck was all this at before?
Right. See,
Like
so
this
when
shit ain't
she
postpartum.
exactly like this is who
You
you
know?
got, but you didn't wait longer than 9 months to see experience her. So
Right.
um no, I definitely think that that is a form of it. That's just a girl whose form was with intentions of having a baby. You have a woman like me, I don't. I don't have intentions of trapping nobody to have a baby. That would
Right,
be a
right.
decision that would be made collectively. But as far as a temporary experience, yes, I can definitely say like I went into, you know, relationships or experiences with intentions of knowing like this ain't for a long time, it's for a good time. So while I was there for the
Yeah.
good time, I did the things that probably made them feel top tier because that was my intention to make them feel good during the experience that I wanted to have. But
Right.
that's why I'm like, I do think generally it probably is more men that love bomb than women, but I am a guilty uh
Bomber.
yeah, I'm a guilty. Yeah, 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 yeah,
You're a
yeah.
guilty bomber.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't no lifestyle. Now I didn't walk around just breaking hearts, you know what I'm saying? But I can't lie and say that it ain't never been done,
Billy
like
Joe, the heartbreaker, the heartbreak
yeah,
kid.
heartbreak kid. Okay. I got mine broken a few times, broke a few, give and take.
I know that's right. You got to be, if you gonna get it broken, you gonna be in it. So
Mm-hmm.
if you gonna be
Mm-hmm.
breaking them, you gonna get yours broken if you in it for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Oh, sorry, world. These nails, they are definitely um not nothing to look at right now, but
All right. So our fourth question: is love bombing limited to romantic relationships, or can platonic and family relationships experience the same?
I mean, as for me, I would say that love bombing is not just restricted to romantic relationships. I think it can happen in platonic and family relationships.
How would
Example.
that happen? How would that happen in a family relationship though? Like,
Because again, the AI version gave us love bombing with, I guess, like showering and gifts and with the intention of manipulating the situation to gain power or control.
that's right.
So, yeah. So I definitely think that there are dynamics in certain, family structures where let's use the Kardashians, for example. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like I am not just like I am not a love doctor or psychologist, therapist, or any of the above. I'm just a person with life experiences talking about it. I do not live inside of the Kardashian household. Okay. I do not know what really goes on inside of there. But if we're going to the AI version of what goes on inside or whatever the world has their, concept made up in their mind, like Kim. Oh, if you don't abide by what she got, she gonna pull the plug. She's gonna make it so that your endeavor is not seen through. So that would be a version of someone holding the power and being able to manipulate the situation to gain control. And in the same tactic, she does have the power to love bomb. Just like she died give it, she died take it away. She can drop off that new crib in Malibu for you. She can have a car delivered, a foreign car delivered with a red bow on top of it to say how love bombing can happen in a family dynamic. Um, and
Yeah. Yeah.
even down to a friendship dynamic. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
tonight I had a friend, that a little friend gathering, and she was going over a situation with a new friend that she encountered, which fits even more into the definition of love bombing AI, encountering with the new person and da 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 da, the rest of the stuff that follows behind it. So this girl seen the, spirits of the friend that of mine, and basically was willing to try to use that to the advantage of the friendship and have the friend of mine put in compromising positions, um business wise, but she did that intentionally because she seen like where the friend's head was at. And
Okay.
instead of moving around that with delicacy and probably saying, "Oh, this wouldn't be good for her because she's more not fragile, but green or anything of that nature," she used that very known fact to put her in situations where money was involved, and she would capitalize off of it, not the friend. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it was nothing sexual between them. It's all platonic, you know? So
Okay.
that's how I feel when you ask me, like, how could it be used? That's how I feel like love bombing can be used other than uh relationship between spouse or lovers.
Okay. I could see that because I could see that in the street sense where
Yep.
where somebody's just like, like, let me front you, man. Let me front you. Let me front you. Nah, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. And then it's just like now you got your own money and you ready to go shop somewhere else, and then just like, nah, just shop with me. And then you be like, but you not giving me the same price somebody else gonna give me. And then now they be like, go tell them, like, nah, don't man, don't fuck with them. Like, that's my
Yeah.
people's, like,
Yeah.
nah. And cause some type of disturbance or whatever, block you from, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
So
they
I could see how that could happen, like in multiple different layers. You could have a
yeah.
business where somebody's trying to like, come on into my shop and let me show you, you can use this section over here and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then you make enough money and then you trying to go get your own space, but then they just telling other people like, nah, don't rent them nothing, don't rent them no
Right.
space,
And
don't rent
that's
them
where
this.
the bomb and abuse part come in at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like again, I want you to do good, but not better than me. And it's essentially like I don't mind feeding you a fish, but I ain't about to go teach you how to fish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that would resuscitate the power from the person that is doing the bombing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, I'm gonna teach you how
Or
to fish,
kill it, not resuscitate it, huh?
but I'm gonna teach you how to fish, but I ain't gonna let you use my equipment to cook it.
Right, exactly. And if you
You
start
know,
catching fish in this month,
cause
ocean,
you
it's a
catching, cause
problem.
you
Yeah.
catching more fish than me. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
now you got to find your own equipment to cook it,
Yeah.
type shit. Yeah, I can understand that how we could see it.
Right. And I'm pretty
Um,
sure there's other situations that you and me can't even fathom because we're not entertaining that walk of life or that genre or whatever. You know, there's just so many things in life that we're not, but if viewers, the right viewer gets this, they could probably kick out a whole nother scenario or a situation between family member or friend or something that you'd be like, oh yeah, that definitely,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, some more people in the comment section. In the chat. It's coming. We just gotta
yeah,
keep going with it. But definitely, it's so many because I don't even be thinking about, like, I don't be thinking about it. The prep is getting our topics and our questions together. But
yeah.
coming on here, like, even this stuff is new to me. Like, cause like I said, I didn't even know what the hell love bombing was.
Word. Yeah. I mean, I
You
knew I
know,
was gonna get up here and go off of my rendition, but I was like, nah, because that ain't I mean, I already knew what it was when I came up with the concept when I received the questions, but I was like, nah, this is not, we got to get a little bit technical because, like you said, it's not us only. It's like really what the world has to compare it to is when they look it up, what they're going to see. But to question number five, now that we're talking about it, can love bombing, what does it say, number five?
ever be unintentional?
Can love bombing ever be unintentional? Before we read the definition, the AI definition, I wonder if the AI definition, Webster probably don't even have a definition. Would that be
No, it's
Urban
none.
Dictionary? Would that be Urban Dictionary? But the reason why
I
I'm
don't
at,
I don't I don't go to the urban. I either go to Webster or use the AI because what happens is the urban dictionary may not be updated and AI is now.
okay,
So
okay,
whatever's trending as far as so in the social construct, because most people are asking their phone, "Hey Siri, hey
right,
Alexa,
exactly.
what is this?"
Yeah,
Okay, or do this or do that. Most people
right,
not even typing in things
right.
anymore.
So
So,
since we, sorry about that, go ahead.
nah, so I was just saying, so the AI gives you the most current of the general census of,
Yeah, with
you
the
know,
world's mind, where the direction we're going.
yeah.
So, but with that being said, then, and us utilizing the AI definition, the answer is no, it cannot be unintentional. It very much said that it is a manipulative, intentional thing. Personally, now, if you asking me, I would have said maybe, possibly it could be unintentional, but they don't matter what I think or what I say for the context of this conversation when we read the actual AI version of the description. So that's simple. No, it has very much of intention behind it. So
Yeah.
that was the easy out the park one right there.
Yeah, but that's why that was the fifth and final, last but not least, to just
Hmm.
put the cap on it. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, definitely it is intentional, because you have to have some type of um negative outcome or effect at the end of it. And do you think people know that they doing that though? And
Yeah.
that's the reason why where maybe we can flip the unintentional or the intention. Do you think some people know that they doing it though?
Like know that they love bombing or know that they getting love bomb. What you talking about?
Well, people knowing that they love bombing, knowing that they have bad intentions,
I
trying
mean,
to do good
see,
gestures to further bad intentions.
right. See, when you put it like that, it makes me, be like, damn, I had bad intentions, because I have formerly loved bomb before in my experiences. Not all of them, but I've had an experience where I, knew again, I was there for a good time, not a long time, and things of
Right.
that nature. So I guess it's all of levels to it as well. So I think that because I was very aware of what I was doing, I wasn't letting nothing get too deep, if that makes any sense. I mean, somebody else might be like, who are you to determine how deep you penetrate in somebody's mind, energy, body, and soul? But there's some things that like I knew I wouldn't do. Like it's no need in me going to go meet your family if I know I don't got no plans for longevity for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, but I do think there are people that intentionally know what they're doing and they do it on shallow and in depth levels of it. But I think some people, this is what I would say. Yes, everybody knows that they're doing it. However, some people's personality is just naturally a love bomber. I don't even know.
They just love
Yeah, I'm
bombing.
not writing them a pass. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be reprimanded when they doing it and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that there are some people that just put the practice in, and that's the way that they approach all of the relationships, that they are naturally a love bomber. Like that's their method to their madness. You know what I'm saying? It's probably unfortunate for long run when again you think of longevity or you think of genuine and you think of, but I guess that same person that is naturally a love bomber, you would have to ask them what is their picture of their future in 20 years when it comes to the aspect of genuine friendships or companionship or things of that nature. They may be complacent, like, oh, I know I'm gonna be lonely, or I know I'm never gonna, maybe they think they're never gonna be lonely, like we would have to get inside their head.
We would have to ask that question, ask them those questions so that way we could actually get some answers that does makes all the sense in the world. But like you said, Billy Badass Joe said no hall passes for the love bombers. And yeah, that's how we gonna end this conversation tonight, y'all. We no hall passes for love bombers.
No hall passes.
We had 5 questions this evening, y'all, on the Love Speak Q&A. Um, what is love bombing or love abuse? What do red flags or signs of love bombing look like? What are some reasons that people love bomb? Is love bombing limited to romantic relationships, or can platonic and family relationships experience the same? And fifth and final, last but not least, can love bombing ever be unintentional? Like we always tell y'all to tell us what you think in the chat and let your love speak in the comments below. And
Yep.
we will respond to everything. And we want to thank everybody for pulling up tonight on the Love Speak and rocking out with us. And hopefully you got some information, some a little bit of something tonight on Love bombing.
Because we did, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we got a lesson tonight. We
Yeah, we
definitely
did.
got a lesson tonight because I was
Hmm.
completely unaware of what love bombing is. I've never done it. I didn't even realize it had been done to me. That's what that was. Like, damn. So
Yeah.
being told I've been told some shit. I'm gonna trap you. I've been told, why can't you do this? Or if you would just do that, it would be like, God damn. Like, what happened
Yeah.
to all the nice stuff all the kind stuff that was going on? Like, where that's at? And like,
Yeah.
especially when you don't do anything to trigger that, when you don't do anything to make a person flip the switch.
Yeah.
It's different if you do something to make the person flip the switch, then every action has a reaction.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, people gotta think that far sometimes, think that far ahead.
Yeah.
Think about how you treat people.
Exactly. And that's what I was getting ready to say. Even for the time, like I said, there's levels to it. And even the times that I chose to intentionally indulge in that, sitting back and seeing, a peer of mine do it on the level or the scale that has been done. I didn't see some people go in and break people down like a pound to build them up to what they want them to be, So it is definitely a sight to see if it's done in depth and if you got a candidate that is unfortunately weak, or not even weak but oblivious or green or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Easily
it's
manipulated.
easily manipulated, yeah, unexperienced,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Easily manipulated. Or somebody letting, you know, a thing,
Yep.
maybe an intimacy
Yep.
or those gifts,
Yep.
be their cause.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I can see. I'm a victim of my own, thinking
Right.
with my little head before, like, knowing I knew better. So if you knew
Yeah.
better, do better, you know?
Exactly. There it is, y'all. And on that note,
Yeah, we're gonna see y'all next time, right here on the Love Speak podcast with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DB Chef TV, and the baddest of the baddies, Billy Badass Joe. And
good night.
everybody have a peaceful and positive start to your week's end, because it's the weekend eve.
Yes,
And
it is.
yeah, and links in the description, y'all. Make sure y'all tune in to DB Chef TV this week. We got a lot of good stuff going on, y'all. So go ahead over there, hit the subscribe button, and set the notifications for the live streams that's coming up the rest of the weekend. And we're gonna see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Some say that art imitates life, but we say that life is art. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop and get 15% off of your next masterpiece of fashion. How do you get there? Simply tap the link in the description. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude. At Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigar Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds, hosted by DB Chef TV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.